Wouldn't it be crazy if like we just did all that? It was such a great conversation, and then you went back and looked and you didn't hit record. I'm like, that's why we're checking, double checking, triple checking that I hit record on these. So
that actually would be horrible. When you get home, you accidentally like press.
Especially you're like, oh my gosh, that was the greatest quote ever. Like we just got like like you nailed it, which you're gonna.
And sadly, that's exactly what happened. I have no idea how it happened, but somehow my main camera, which included my main audio, didn't record the session and the interview and the conversation that I had with Sydney. Thankfully, I had a secondary camera running with a secondary audio source. So it's not the greatest of audio quality because of that kind of backup system, but I was still able to record and capture the essence of what Sydney shared during this Meet the Model session.
I don't clap that loud. It does help.
Yeah, that's right. No, I have to clap.
You can if you want to.
We'll do that at the same time.
Sure. 1, 2. By the way, 9th Street together.
Oh, yay. We're excited.
Don't feel you have to be like all stuffy in this. So like, if you want to do oots, go ahead. Well, we're back with another episode of Meet the Model. I'm your host, Scott Dietz. Thanks for joining the channel today. And we are creating an entire series of video interviews with models from here in the local Pittsburgh area, but also as I travel around the country working with folks, we'll try to get some interviews with them as well. Different models from different skill levels and backgrounds and experience levels. So I'm here today with a model that I've shot with 9 times now. And actually, no, this is the 9th time that we've shot together. So we're excited about shooting here in a little bit, but we're going to sit down for a little chat first and just kind of dive into a little bit about your experience, but also any tips that you have for folks. So why don't we start off with, who are you? Just tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Sydney. I've been modeling for almost 2 years. I would say probably in like May, maybe April.
So let's think back to your very first photo shoot. First of all, why did you decide that you wanted to give modeling a try?
It wasn't like really me giving it a try. It was more of like somebody else giving me the opportunity. I've always wanted to model. Like you can ask anybody. My mom or my sister, my favorite show was like the America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
I still watch it to this day. But I've always wanted to do that. So one day somebody texted me and there was like, I got new lights and I've seen your pictures before because I always like did my self photo shoots.
Okay.
Like, every day I'd go somewhere and do my own photos.
Was that like cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I took my sister with me,
Okay.
and she'd take my pictures. But so he was like, "You want to come test my lighting in the studio tomorrow at 9 a.m.?" I was like, "I don't model, but sure, like it would be fun." He was like, "Okay, well if you like it, we could do it again." So then we did it like 10 more times.
Oh, nice.
Maybe not 10, but like a lot, and then everybody else wanted to.
So when we did our first shoot together, we did an outdoor shoot in downtown Pittsburgh.
You were my second shoot.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Like how experienced were you? I feel like you were relatively new when we first shot together.
Literally brand new. Like I think like a couple days beforehand was my first shoot, and then I posted the pictures like the day after I got them back, and then you messaged me like when I had like 10 followers on Instagram.
So it seems like the trend in the last couple of these interviews I've done or conversations I've had has been that Instagram is a great place to find models. Would you agree with that?
That's my main place. I don't really not like to use anything else, but I don't really get any traffic from photographers through anything. Like if I post on Facebook, it's mostly family. So Instagram is like where I get my jobs from. But I don't consider it a job either. I do make money off of it, but I would rather do it even if I don't make money.
So we'll come back to that in a minute, but let's go back to our first shoot together again. If you can remember back a couple of years ago now, I guess maybe.
Yeah, almost true.
But one of the things I was most impressed with when we first shot together was I'm like, she doesn't seem like she's new, because you had confidence, but then you also like were pretty good at posing right out of the gate. Do you think that's just because you had watched so much stuff in the past, or you had practiced like in the mirror just playfully, or
Probably both.
Yeah.
I mean, like, watching that one show that I did watch, I learned a lot of, like, base stuff. They didn't really go over, like, poses per se. You kind of just watch them do it. But, like, I don't know. I have a different body type than most people, so I'm always standing in the mirror trying to figure out how I look good. And so I'm not, just like... So I just take it from what I do for my own pictures and put it into other people's pictures.
I was always amazed with America's Next Top Model. Usually I would fast forward to the photo shoots because I didn't care about all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to see the behind the scenes setup of the lighting and
Right.
how the photographer was working. They never showed that enough
Oh,
for my liking anyway.
No, they really don't.
It's such a short amount.
Watch season 23. They show a lot of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like the crazy ideas. It might be like in a pile of trash,
Right.
or in the freezing cold, or like you never knew what. But that's kind of the reality of modeling, especially commercial modeling and the commercial side of things.
Yeah, I do a whole bunch of different things. Like, I would say I'm very diverse. Every time I go into a shoot, it's something new. I'm doing a totally different creative concept, like abandoned buildings, body paint, like even I would consider Boudoir shoots something like that too, because that's not for everyone. You have to be comfortable like with yourself to be able to do something like that, or else you're not, like, what's the point?
Now, do you feel like you were comfortable before you started modeling, or did modeling help with you become more confident and comfortable?
Oh no, it definitely helped, because like the second I started modeling, I like definitely glowed up 100%. My hair started growing. I was just happier all the time. I don't know. Talked to a lot more people, got a lot more compliments from other people because I was actually presenting myself in a good way. I wasn't sitting in sweatpants and a bun all the time anymore. People were making
You just show up to shoots with sweatpants on, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Get rid of the lines. But you know what I'm saying? But like, modeling has changed my confidence because it's given me the push to get outside and do something. Get dressed, do my hair, do my makeup. Don't do it for nobody else, but when I get the pictures back, it's like, holy shit, that's me. Like, still to this day, every time I get a picture back, I'm like about to cry. Every time I get a picture back, I'm like, I still can't believe that's me. It changes a lot.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, and I think that's, again, why a lot of folks get into the photography side of it, because they know that, again, they can empower and build confidence in folks and stuff like that. So that's definitely a nice side benefit, I guess, to just being, using
And y'all are
as a
my
creative
biggest
outlet.
cheerleaders, too.
What's that?
Y'all are my biggest cheerleaders. You guys know everything. You're like, you look good doing this. It's beautiful. Keep killing it. Do this, do that. But you're already doing it. So you guys, like, boost my confidence. You like what you just said, you guys, like, try to look for that. That's why you want to do it, is to boost people's confidence, and you do it every shoot. Like, when you say things, it makes me feel good.
Well, that's actually a really good a tip to reemphasize, because so I've seen photo shoots or group photo shoots or whatever where photographers are taking photos but not communicating.
Yeah,
They're
they
not
just
saying
look
anything.
not interested.
Yeah, it's not only, first of all, it's weird.
Yeah.
If you're just like heavy breathing or something when you're taking the photos, but that constant feedback loop is important as far as like, hey, that's great, you're looking good, hey, that's a killer image, or
Right,
that's a
you're
great
gonna hold
pose, or hold that, it's one I use a lot.
I like
go
that.
back to that, and I think the other thing I always like to do with models is, or encourage them to do is, I call it micro changes. I might have stolen that from somebody over the years, but there's when you're posing and you're kind of like, some models will be like here, and then all of a sudden they're over here, and then all of a sudden they're over here, and then, like, just make a small change from like here to here to here to here, and like just make small little micro changes.
I like to experience everything before I move too drastically. Try to do everything I can in that one spot, because you're going to get a million photos taken anyways. There's no need to hop around, because you'll be right back there at some point.
Yeah, and sometimes like, the flash might not have gone off, or didn't go off at the full power, or you blinked, or like there's something distracting in the background, or so like sometimes it's just that idea of the small changes, so it's not such a dramatically different change in posing. But any other tips you would give on posing? Because again, I think you're not only did you seem to come right out of the gate being pretty good at it, I've definitely seen like in your work and in your photos and stuff over the period of time, like I'm like, wow, she's getting really good at posing. Is that like because the photographers are directing you more on that, or is it because like you're just personally getting better at it and studying your craft more, or some combination of both?
I would say there's multiple reasons, probably like 2 or 3. One would be y'all, like I said, the kind words as I'm going through it, that makes me know, or helps me know, that I'm doing something right in the moment. Keep that in mind, do it again if I'm ever like, you know, running out of ideas or whatever. Like, I look good doing this, they think I look good doing this, do it again. Also, going through Instagram and following different people, especially like, because I'm a female, I would follow another female on Instagram and look through her pictures and steal some of her ideas and try it out or whatever.
Destiny in our interview kept saying stalking. And I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
stalking. You can't say stalking because that just sounds weird.
I would say I kind of stalk people because I go back to their page multiple times. But like I make it, I know not in a creepy way, but like when I see them, I'm like, I know your pictures and I'm just letting you know that's inspiration to me. Like I look through your stuff and if something mine looks similar to yours, is more than likely it's because you inspired me to do it. So my poses come from a lot of other people. And lately, not really when I first started, but like, you know how people say watch YouTube videos and stuff?
Mhm.
I really didn't do that too much at the beginning because like I was just out there having fun. I was busy, didn't really have time for it, but it really, really does help. If you watch like the do's and don'ts side by side, they show you like what this would look like compared to that, and then I try it, I'm like, holy shit, that actually does look so much better, I need to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
So
I
there's
mentioned
help.
it, I think, in the first Meet the Model session that I posted, that I have a playlist actually of posing videos. You know, went through YouTube and tried to find good content around posing to share with new models or those that are looking to hone their craft. So, I'll put that in the description if you haven't already seen that list. So.
Definitely did. Yours were one of the videos I did watch because when we first started, I asked you to send me some because I needed. Well, I didn't need. Yeah, I needed some help. I mean, I was still new. I needed to know what to do. I mean, but you helped me a lot. Those videos helped. So.
Cool. Let's talk about what kind of stuff you like shooting, and then so let's start off with just like what kind of do you like fashion? Do you like boudoir? Do you like swimsuit? Do you like casual? Do you like lifestyle stuff? Something else? What do you like doing most?
I would say I have 2 and I couldn't pick between the 2. I really like fashion shoots, but like high-end fashion. I don't have all the materials yet to fit my vision, but I've been getting there. I've been working on my like closet to get clothes for that stuff, doing my hair and makeup more, stuff like that. So fashion's really fun because you get to really put yourself together for that. But I really also like doing a boudoir shoot because it's all about body confidence. Like I don't know, being as small as I am, I do get a lot of comments from people that some of them are nice, but a lot of them are not nice. So somebody else wanting to take a picture of me like that and then me getting them back and also liking them too is the confidence is probably my favorite part about that. I wouldn't even say it.
So you mentioned it a couple of times now, but let's go into it a little bit. How tall are you?
I'm 5 foot.
And you look more like 4'10" sometimes.
Yeah.
But then in photos, if we photograph you right, you look more like 5'4".
Yes, I look so much taller. Everybody says it.
Shoot at a low angle, shoot upward, and
Right.
makes people look taller.
And then it makes me look like I'm like 5'8".
But again, I think sometimes when people think about modeling, they think there's a stereotype of what a model has to be.
Oh yeah, no, I thought the same.
And
when I first
certain
started.
modeling, obviously, if you're working runway or you're doing some commercials and stuff, for some of the big brands or something like that, you might have to be a certain, there's kind of an industry standard and some of that stuff. But especially from a hobbyist perspective, or from working locally or working with small brands or something like that, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Mm-mm. Not for me, at least. I think my willingness to show up and work hard overpowers what they're looking for as a stereotypical model.
Mm-hmm.
People like my attitude a lot and they want to work with me again just because of that on its own, I believe. But like when I first started, I was being told by a lot of people, this is normally for like a really tall, skinny model with like really long arms and really long legs to be able to do a pose like that, and then I did it. So like, it doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, I mean, not to sound cocky or anything, but I did it too. So when they said those things, not gonna lie, it hurt my feelings because I'm small, I'm short, but I can't help it, and I still did it. So
yeah.
And then for runway too, like I've been told that I can't do runway, because I'm short, I will do it one day and I'll show them Monday. So it's all, I mean, like, so I don't really think the stereotypical has anything to do with it.
Do you prefer like shooting in the studio setting or like we're at an Airbnb kind of setting or outdoors or doesn't matter to you?
It depends on the weather.
Mm-hmm.
If it's nice outside, I want to be outside. If it's cold, I want to be inside. So
I'm right there with you.
yeah, like, but I would prefer to shoot outdoors. I really like, because you have more opportunities, like, to go different places, more backdrops, you can walk different places, you're not just stuck in a couple different rooms. But then again, when you're shooting outside, you can't do like Boudoir wherever you want.
Right.
You have to, you know, go to like a secluded area, figure out somewhere to do it, or just don't do it at all, which kind of sucks. But I've done a couple outside.
What would you like to do in the future with modeling? Where do you see it going for you?
Like, what do you mean? Do I continue as a job, or what kind of like what kind of style do I continue?
Would you like to do more modeling in outside of Pittsburgh region? Would you like to do any other particular styles or types of projects, or do you want it to become more of a? I mean, it's quite not fully a full-time gig for you, I don't think, right? But do you want to get it to that point? Or?
100%. I want it to be like to where I can make all of my income off modeling. I want to be able to pay my bills and, like, support my family and have money left over. But I know it takes hard work to get there, and that's what I'm trying to do. I have been traveling a little bit recently, so like I do want to do that a lot more in the future. I do like staying around here, and I have a lot of photographers, like a lot of them that I love to work with around here. But I want to go somewhere different. I want to travel. I want to go to meet new people, just live that lifestyle of, like luxury or whatever you would like to call it. Happiness, moving around, not just in one spot all the time. But I've been to Indiana so far, New York, Florida, Ohio, West Virginia. So it's a lot of fun. It's just when opportunities are given to me, I have to figure out if it's the right time or not. Which
I really appreciate. Even doing this interview, you kind of approached it the same way. Right before we started doing this interview, you were like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do this.
That's cool.
This is good, nerve-wracking, and never done this before." But then you were like, "But it's something new. I can try something new and experiment with it."
I always want to try something new, even if I'm scared to do it. I still want to try it because, like I said, you never know if I will like it. Because, and I want to compare this to a music video, but you're being in front of a camera and it's also recording. It's not just like a still photo where they can't see like all of your like flaws or whatever. So like I feel like this is also good practice for stuff like that. So like you need to expand everything. I was also watching that show, and they're like, the one girl who runs the show, her name's Rita. She's the new girl on the show or whatever, but she does acting, modeling,
no Tyler
dancing.
Anymore?
No, but she came back. She did it. But, yeah, I know, right? But like,
I didn't know the show was still on, so okay.
So I want to do that too. If she can do it, I can do it. And you want to know what? She did it just like how I did it. I wouldn't consider myself blown up, but I've gotten so many opportunities in such a short amount of time of modeling. She got her big mark short amount of time, but you want to know why? Because she tried a bunch of things and she put hard work into it. So that's what I want to do too.
Any tips you would give for those that are early in their journey for modeling?
Just like give it your all, honestly. Like even if you think that you don't want to do it, try it. If somebody else tells you that you shouldn't be doing it, don't listen to them, because when I first started, everybody was like, why do you want to model? It's just to get attention from other people, and you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for male attention. No, it's not about that. So don't listen to what they say and do it for you, because otherwise your photos are not going to turn out good. You're going to be sitting there thinking about what everybody else is saying the entire time. Even if it's your family. If you're really happy and doing what you're doing, then they should be happy for you too. You know what I'm saying? If they're not happy for you, then oh well. I mean, I'd get it if you're exploiting yourself to your family in a way that wouldn't be appropriate. But as long as you're following your dreams, do whatever you want. Because that's what I'm doing. I always told everybody I was going to do it, and they always told me no, because like even if you're in a relationship, my partner that I had did not want me to do it at all because he didn't want other people looking at me. Well, this is what I'm doing for me, and if you can't accept that, then oh well, move on.
It's amazing over the years. Like, and I've been doing this for 15 years or so now, and photographed over 450 models or something like that. And it's amazing how many times I've seen the jealous boyfriend thing, or the insecure in a lot of ways, and it was like, I always jokingly say that guys always want to date a model until they actually date a model.
Right.
And then they become like, all of a sudden they no longer,
no longer interested.
or they get all like, again, overly protective, or don't like the fact that they're a model anymore.
Right.
But you like the idea of the concept of dating a model from the front end.
Until you get there. I mean, like, honestly, like I said, it's not about nobody else. And no offense, it's not about you. And it's not about the person looking at the photo on the other side of Instagram. It's not about what my mom thinks, what my dad thinks, what my sister thinks. It's about what I think. So if my partner doesn't want me doing that, or if anybody else doesn't want me doing that, as long as you want to do it, keep doing it. Because everybody told me not to do it. I mean, I've lost so many friends because of it. They thought I was too busy doing this. I was giving it all my time and pushing them all to the side. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. And it makes me feel good. And before I started doing it, I was not at a good point in my life. So I kept doing it and didn't listen to what they said. And now I'm so much better. So.
Awesome.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about, we were going to go in depth with your past photography experience, so we're not going to go down there that rabbit hole tonight. But I do want to ask you though, because you have been on the other side of the camera for a little bit and occasionally, right? So, and I'm curious if being on the other side of the camera as a photographer, and I forget, what were you photographing? Was it families, or kids, or babies, or what were your seniors, or?
I didn't really get too much into it, but I did a couple shoots, father-daughter, and then I did just little girls and their pets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find that being on that side of the camera helped being a model, in the sense of like understanding either the complexity of the, it's not just point the camera and hit a button.
100%. It was so, working behind the camera and learning all the settings was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, literally, not that I thought you just turned the camera on and took the picture, but like, I didn't think it was
That's all
good.
I do. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought so. But like, I thought it was going to be easier than it was. But I got the hang of it. It took some time. And then I went and I did this photo shoot for a little 8-year-old girl. And it was set up for me from another photographer. It was his neighbor. And she's always wanted her pictures taken. I was begging him to do it, but he knew I was into it and I wanted to do family photography and children's photography, so he set me up with it. I go in there and this little girl's posing like I did on like my first shoot, and I was shook. I was blown away. My job was so easy. I barely had to do anything, but editing was my favorite part, and sending them back to her, coming up with a name for like her little folder that I put all the pictures in. It was like Amelia's World, and I had like all these cute little borders in it and stuff like that. Pictures of her and her dogs, her brushing her hair in the mirror. It was so much fun, and when she got the pictures back, she felt the same way I did. So it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot telling her what to do too. She took my advice very, very well, and like, it helped. I'm not one to just speak my mind or like tell you something. I don't know how to say it, but it helped me be able to open up a little bit more, tell her what to do instead of just being quiet and letting it go. My favorite shoot, well, I don't know if it'd be my favorite shoot. I got my favorite picture back out of it. I looked like a Victoria's Secret model against like a pink and a light pink backdrop. My body looked amazing. I was toned. My hair looked good. Everything looked good. So I just really loved that shoot. It was a lot of fun. And I do like going to workshops a lot because I'm not very good at talking to people, like I said, or introducing myself or whatever. So going to workshops where people are already there, coming up to me and talking to me, that's probably my favorite part about modeling. Because like since I've been out of school, which has probably been about 4 or 5 years now, I haven't had as many friends as I do now, between both models and photographers. Like, mostly all of you guys are a lot older than me, but I like that. Like, you guys are so much easier to connect with. You're so much more mature and have a lot more fun. So that's my favorite part about modeling.
I think you should just call me old.
No, no.
Just kidding.
No, you're just... I'm
Mature.
really
Experience.
young.